All right, I want to welcome back in the panel, get right into business this morning. Emerald Robinson, Betsy McCoy, Grover Norquist, and Christopher Arps back with us. Emerald, I want you to sort of tell us the tale about how we got invited into the briefing room for Joe Biden's much awaited, when I say long awaited, 64 days and counting. When's this going to happen? When did you get the invite? Because you had a little dust up with Jen Psaki. We played it in our Psaki Dodge. I mean, it was a professional dust up, but they could have easily given us the Heisman, but you're going to be there.
Yeah, I think, we've gotten so used to a certain way most reporters ask, or certain questions most reporters ask.
Right.
That, anyway. So we were invited. I was a little bit surprised because it is limited press. We'll have the pool tomorrow, which is the press, the smaller group of press that is assigned to go to the Oval Office or, to any open press appointments that the president has. It's not necessarily open press. Most people don't know these terms. So they've invited a few extras, and we were in that. And I will say that the White House Correspondents Association definitely advocated on our behalf.
I'm very, very glad to hear that. Newsmax here to stay. Emerald Robinson here to stay. And like I said yesterday, honestly, when you first asked the question, I thought of Jim Acosta. But then immediately you made your mark, because Jim Acosta never had intelligent or eloquent follow-ups when it came to dealing with Kayleigh McEnany or Sean Spicer or Sarah Sanders. It was, you did a fantastic job with that 3-minute Q&A with Jen Psaki. What time tomorrow is this happening?
We don't know for sure yet. So, yeah, and I don't think it'll be in the briefing room. No, it won't be 6 in the morning.
It's going to be early, though.
We know it's definitely before 7 p.m. because that's typically, according to CNN, when the president turns in and calls it a day.
Right. We know he seems to do a little bit better earlier in the day. Since Grover Norquist is a part of the panel this morning, I wasn't going to do this, Grover, but I got to talk to you about that $3 trillion debacle that was just proposed, this economic Green New Deal, energy taxes, gas taxes, carbon taxes, all in there. Joe Biden is also planning the first major substantial tax hike since 1993. He'd raise the corporate tax from 21 to 28%. It's all well and good. He campaigned on something like this, but is this the right time for that right now?
Well, it's never the right time to raise taxes that much. We had the highest corporate income tax in the world under Biden and Obama. President Trump and the Republicans took it from 35%. Communist China's at 25, so we were 10 points above. He took it down to 21. Joe Biden says, I want to take America's tax on business up again, higher than China, higher than Europe. We also have about 4.8% state corporate income taxes. So 28% is actually closer to 32, 33% when you look at how American businesses are taxed. Companies will once again be inverted, as they were during the Obama administration, where they're worth more in somebody else's country than headquartered with us. Investment would flow away from the United States rather than it has for the last several years into the United States very significantly. And the President Obama campaigned on a promise he'd never raise anyone's taxes who earns less than $400,000. His energy taxes go to every single America. His corporate income tax actually will raise the cost of your utility bill, because utilities take federal taxes and put them right into the bill. When the Republicans cut the corporate income tax, utility bills dropped by several billions dollars across the country. People paid less than they would have otherwise. With Obama, he's going to raise your utility bill. You don't have to make $400,000.
And let's be honest, this is all about the middle class, and we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Chris, nice to see you. Nice to have you on. I know that you're in St. Louis, not far from Ferguson, Missouri, where the Michael Brown incident happened. I believe it was 2014. The Derek Chauvin trial is going to get underway on Monday. That's when we're going to hear opening arguments in Minneapolis, so north of St. Louis. Do you think that he'll be able to get a fair trial and an unbiased 15-member jury panel?
I think it's going to be very difficult for him to get a fair trial in Minnesota. This case has gotten so much national attention. The image of Officer Chauvin, having his knee on this gentleman's neck for 3.5 minutes is something that's not going to get out of people's minds. What I'm more worried more than anything about this trial is that if the verdict is not the verdict that the public wants, are we going to have another spring and summer of riots?
Yeah. Yeah, Betsy, same question to you. Don't forget the defense wanted to change the venue. They didn't think that Chauvin would be able to get a fair trial in Minneapolis, given the fact that, everyone's seen the video, like Chris just said.
Well, that was a reasonable argument, although unfortunately everyone in the nation, probably in many parts of the free world, have seen that terrible video. Right. So moving the venue might not have accomplished anything. When you look at the size of the jury pool, 356 people, and they narrowed it down to these 15, let's hope he does get a fair trial. That's our American way.
And it'll be televised. A very diverse jury pool, 6 white women, 2 multi-race, 1 black woman, 3 white men, and 1 black woman and 3 black men are a part of that trial. Quickly, I just wanted to talk about the border, Emerald, the situation down there. Obviously, it's getting worse by the day. More than 600 unaccompanied minors coming across every single day. 10 million Americans, as we just said with Grover, are out of work right now. But we're still able to pay $86 million for now 1,400 families to move into hotels along the border.
Yeah, and American families get $1,400 that are under a certain threshold as a, consolation in the pandemic. Look, this is just not sitting well with the American public, what they're seeing down there on the border. These price tags are, when you think about the pandemic and people being out of work, and the administration doesn't do a good job messaging about it. When I asked Jen Psaki about it the other day, specifically the $86 million spent on these hotel rooms and how that pairs up with some of the other things we've seen, like the National Guard troops sleeping in parking garages at the Capitol, they just don't have a great response that makes their case to the American people.
And we saw those videos that the Border Patrol released yesterday and the pictures. They are doing everything they told us that Donald Trump was doing. And let's be honest, we say unaccompanied minors, but they look like kids to me. They look like little kids. And 1 unaccompanied minor is crossing the border right now, today, Wednesday, March 24th, every 2.5 minutes. Unbelievable numbers, guys. We can dive into this at the top of the hour. Enjoyed the conversation. We'll see you soon.